Hey guys, it's McLean again. This is the second video in our series, and I just want to clarify one thing on the last video here. Talked about how C# is a case-sensitive language. Excuse me, and the capitals matter and the lowercase matters. In C++ or Java, when you declare this method, main is usually lowercase, but it actually has to be uppercase in C. That's an important thing worth noting. I just wanted to let you guys know there. And so in our last video, we left off with we just wrote out one line, hello world, hello, my name's McLean. And one thing worth noting, C#, the compiler isn't looking for a new line delineation. So this semicolon, that's the end of your statement. When C# reads that semicolon, it knows that that is the end of the statement, and to do whatever the directions were for it to do. But so one of the things, like in other compilers, you can't split this statement across multiple lines. I couldn't just put it here and then do this here. I couldn't do that. But the C# compiler will know that this is perfectly fine code, and the white space, which is all this crap in between, it doesn't matter. It doesn't read for white space. It reads until it gets that semicolon, and then it'll say, okay, I'm supposed to write out this line. So that's what this will do if you wanted to go out and print that. I'm not gonna bother with it. But then you could also you could back these up. You could put these all on the same line, these two statements, and it would not make a single difference as to how the compiler works. It will write out, hello, my name is McLean K, and it'll write out second statement. So now let's get into declaring variables. So a variable is, for those of you who have never worked with variables, it's anything that can have a different value over time. The value can change. So an int, I just declared this int max. So what this does is it stores an integer. An integer is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it'll name it, whatever that integer value is, it'll name it max. So you can see down here I declared a double min. A double is an integer but that has decimals. So you can see here min, I set it equal to 3.12159, and that's valid. I could print that out and it would write out, if I did a system.console.writeLine, min would be printed out as this entire value. But you see I set max equal to something similar, but max is an integer. The compiler will not allow you to turn a double into an integer, or turn an integer into a double. So if I tried to print this out, I would get an error. But if I tried to print this out, this is valid. It will let me print out 3 because it's an integer, and that's a valid value. And so that's worth noting. And then so we have the string type. So string type. That was a bad name. So a string is a type, and a double is a type, and an int is a type. That's worth noting. It's a type of variable. And so a string is exactly what you think it is. It's a string of letters or numbers, even if you wanted to, all in one variable. So we'll get into how to handle integers, doubles, and strings in when you get into really coding deep. But just for now, all you have to know is that a string can be anything, and it can be, I have this whole statement here, have fun storming the castle, and that's a valid statement. All that's perfectly fine. So to kind of show you guys one of the cool things about the C# compiler, I'm just doing this system.console.writeLine, and I put it in parentheses. I just put type. And what is that? Type is the name of my variable that is a string. So I don't have to specify that at all. All I have to do is, it's essentially, when I put it in parentheses up here, my first statement, whatever I put in the parentheses, I put quotation marks around it, and it's going to print that out. I don't even have to put quotation marks around this. It's going to print out whatever is stored in type, whatever is equal to type. And we just set type equal to have fun storming the castle. and then I'm also going to print out max, which should be 3. So let's go do that. We do MCS, and the variable min is assigned, but its value is never used. It just gives you a warning, but it's no issues there. So now I do mono hello world, and here we go. We have my first statement, hello, my name is McLean. The second statement, have fun storming the castle, which is type, and then max, max was 3. And so that's all fine and dandy, but for those of you who have compiled or used the language C or C++, one of the cool things about C# is that you don't have to specify if you want a new line. At the end of every statement here, it automatically puts a new line into your, it calls, like, a new line is called when you call this system.console.writeLine. A new line is automatically put in, so you don't have to worry about spacing it out yourself. The C# compiler does that for you. So that's it for now. Let's in the next one we're going to be talking more about different types of variables and all sorts of those things. And yeah, so thanks everybody, and be sure to watch the next video.